So before I get stronger, I need to know my baseline. I need to know where I'm at. I need to set down some measurables so that I know whether or not I'm improving and figure out a strategy to achieve my goals. My voice is so croaky this morning. I've got all these fun little contraptions. It's got different types of foam rollers. Way too early to be filming some content like this. I've got this little tool. I've still got to go and do the second part of my workout upstairs. And I'm going to be honest, I think I've been stuck in my head about filming this whole process because I had this kind of vision of how I'm going to be filming these episodes and stuff, and then I overthink it and end up doing nothing, and also just get exhausted because, you know, it's quite an intense time while I'm here working out and have other things on my plate. So I've just found myself not pulling out the camera as much as I should have, because it's already like 2.5 weeks I've been here, and I've filmed little bits here and there, but not as much as I would have hoped. So hopefully the next week coming up, I'm going to be filming a little bit more of the actual workouts. And because a lot of my workouts that I've been doing here, they've been other people, and I don't want to be that person that's just kind of filming with everyone else around without their knowledge or consent. Trying to be a little bit more mindful of that type of stuff. It's way too early in the morning. I'm using notes to do this portion of the talk. So as I talked about earlier in some of the other episodes, the measurables, we're not necessarily just going on weight, we're going on all sorts of different things, which includes body measurements. So I've measured different parts of my body because sometimes your body composition may change, but it might not reflect that on the scale. Something that I appreciate now being in a bigger body is how limited my mobility has gotten. So things, even especially doing things like yoga, where I'd be able to do the stretches, even things like being able to hug your knees. So this is as far as I can get. And that's to do with like flexibility and just the size that my legs have gotten. And when we're doing stretches, like before, I was able to do this kind of easily. And like now, this is rough to get into. Unless, so if you're doing the quote unquote correct form, this should be able to sit right here, but my legs have just gotten bigger, so I can't physically move my body like I used to. And I don't even know if that's going to be the end result. That would be awesome if I'm able, you know, to get more flexible and for my legs to come down in size so that I can move better again when I'm stretching or just moving, really, doing certain things. But that's been one of the interesting developments. Even how my clothes fit. So thank goodness for stretchy things. Editing this is going to be a nightmare. So I was going to do a reflection on week 1, but as I mentioned earlier, I was just too tired. I was too exhausted to really film any content then. So we are, what are we now? About 2.5 weeks in. I think this is day 16 or 17 of training. And so I've been moving every day, which has been one of my goals that I've been trying to achieve here, is being consistent in moving every day. So that I'm really happy about. The first week was, I'm going to be honest, it was horrible. It was hard. My body was in so much pain, just sore muscles, not kind of injury pain, but just I've worked really hard pain. And, excuse me while I stretch here. And that was really hard to be patient, but also to have the kind of motivation to keep training was really difficult because you're just in pain. You really just want to like sleep more and stay in bed. But I'm so fortunate. And one thing you're going to hear me talk about a lot in these videos, at least while I'm in Hawaii, is how fortunate and grateful I am to Ensign's whānau, his family here. Because right from obviously my brother and sister-in-law helping me in the gym, also our niece Tia, she's one of the instructors too, so I've been doing her classes, and to her surprise I told her hers is actually the hardest class. It's the Tabata. So if you don't know what that is, maybe I'm going to talk to her about it and ask her what a Tabata is, because that Thursday Tabatas here are crazy. My mother-in-law and our niece have been cooking, and our niece Tia meal preps, and she's been cooking extra and doing the macros and stuff for me, and so that I can eat, which has been amazing. I feel like I've been really spoiled while I've been here, which is I'm so grateful for. That's really helped the process. So knowing that I've got this whānau, this kind of team behind me to help me achieve even just these short-term goals, but they're also in it for the long run too. It's really helped me want to push and give my best, and make sure at least I just show up to the trainings and do the trainings. So that's really helped motivate me. I felt like I had to get out of myself in order to really give myself that push that I really needed. So knowing that they're all kind of giving me their time and their energy and resources, a way of me showing, appreciation too, is also doing this, like giving that effort for them as well. And that's really helped. And sometimes we need that. I'm going to ask them about that, because sometimes I feel that it's a little bit frowned upon. Like, oh, you should be doing it for yourself. But what happens if doing it for yourself doesn't necessarily work? You've got to find other ways. You've got to find what works for you. And this approach is what's really been working for me. I'm really grateful to Ensign's whānau here. And obviously Ensign too. So he's still in Japan right now. He's still been getting on the same kaupapa as me. So he's been working out back in Japan, and obviously we're communicating and keeping in touch and checking in on each other's progress. So that's been really cool. So I knew going into this that the first week was going to be horrible, because that's just kind of how it is. I think it's foolish to beat around the bush and say it's going to be fine, just ease into it. If you're working out and you're starting from pretty much nothing, there's going to be an adjustment phase. So I accepted that and knew it was coming, kind of anticipated it, and just had to kind of work through the emotions and the feelings as it was happening. And yeah, like I said, for the first few days it was horrible. So I just focused on just turning up, participating, just doing my best. That's all I can ask for. And I knew that once I'd hit the couple weeks, which is like now, about today, that it would be okay, that my body would have adjusted. And I've still adjusted a little bit. I'm not as sore and tired anymore, but people are coming and getting ready for class. So these conversations might be good if I sit down and have a cup of tea and kōrero with either Egan, Marcia, or even Tia. So we'll have a kōrero about it then. But I got to clear the space because there is a class coming up next.